Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to episode 11 of my Monster Refugee to Regent challenge. And where did the loot go? I swear there was... Did it not? Okay, oh well. Anyway... at the end of the last episode, I managed to finish off the elders' houses after realizing that they all had to be, along with mine, around a central square. So I had to do some impromptu planning, which means that some of the locations that I had earmarked for some other roles are going to have to be repurposed, and that's fine. I'm probably going to end up having to do a bunch of that. Oh, I need to replant trees. Today, I am going to finish up the residential part of this stage with the refugee houses. They're not going to be nearly as elaborate and sizable as the elders' houses for multiple reasons. One, they're not supposed to be, and two, I just don't want to spend too much of my resources on them. I do have the kennels here and plan on filling all of these with dogs, but right now I just have the 5. I want to save my bones just in case I need to bone meal something for now. So they're just going to have to sit and be just those 5. Let's look around, see if there's any bad guys looking close. I don't see anything else. Alright. Now the plan is I'm going to be putting in some of these houses probably south of wrong button, south of where this road runs. So the houses, the refugee houses, are going to go in an arc around this way. I might actually end up putting 1 or 2. Can I get? No, of course not. 1 or 2 of them back here behind the kennel because there's plenty of room and it's relatively flat. But what I need to do is figure out where some of my other components of the stage are going to need to go. But that will have to be some off camera doing. I don't want to do that while I'm recording. I do want to do something else beyond the refuges today, but I don't know just what yet. Anyway, I'm going to cut here, get to work on gathering a few more resources so I have plenty to build these little houses, and figure out where they're going to go, and I'll be right back. While I'm out here getting some resources, since I decided to get a little bit more backlog of the different types of woods I'm going to be using immediately, I figured I would demonstrate the simplest way to deal with tall trees, because you can either make your life easy or hard, and well, I like to go for the easy if I can. Always take with you ladders. Climb up to the top and chop your way down. As you're chopping down, the ladders come off and you're good to go. You don't even have to worry about scooping them up or anything. They will either end up in your inventory or at the bottom. It is a great way to chop down tall trees. Anyway, I'm going to get back to doing some harvesting, and then I'll be back. Alright, a couple of things real quick. First off, just remembered that I was mistaken earlier. It isn't bones that you use to breed the dogs. It's meat, and I have plenty of rotten flesh. So I could feasibly go ahead and fill the kennel, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Secondly, I went ahead and managed to get a bunch of greatwood, poplar, regular oak, and am now working on the blue magic wood, so I have a bit of a backstock of building materials and I don't have to worry about this every time. I spent 5 days working on one of the greatwood trees. It was gigantic. I had to sleep in the branches 4 nights in a row, and it was very weird. Glad it's over with. But anyway, now I have enough materials to go ahead and work on the refugee huts. But before I got into starting on that, I wanted to make sure I had all of the elders' houses finished, and they are all now complete and fully furnished. They required a bedroom with a bed, check on all three. Tinker's Construct frying pan in a kitchen, check on all three. Storage room, in this case it's a closet on all three of them, with 1 to 2 double chests, check on all three. The home office in all three, 1 to 4 bookshelves, check. Desk, check. And none of them are guild leaders yet, so I'm not worried about that. And then finally, 1 to 2 additional rooms to taste. Well, I have built in 1 to 2 additional rooms, as well as that having a patch of cotton farm, that having the kennel, and that having the stable. So I'm calling that check on all three. So now, what I need to start working on are the refugee huts. Well, not huts, but refuges. And all they require are a bedroom with a bed and a kitchen with a Tinker's Construct frying pan. There we go. Now I can sleep. And that's not going to be too hard to do. I'm going to have 8 of these refuges. So I'm going to need to do a little bit more measuring. I thought I had a bit more space. I want to keep a little bit of room around each of the elders' houses so I can have room to expand them if needs be. But there should be plenty of room interspersed through here, especially back behind the kennel in that area. I might just make them all lined up in a row. That might work best, especially if I want to make roads later on. I can deal with it that way. But where are you? Are you a light blue dye tree? Cyan. Okay. So, whoa! Oh, I'm being followed. Oh no! No, 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 you don't. No, stop it. Ha! Okay, it's not safe out here. I've declared it unsafe. Goodbye. I'm going to lay out where I'm going to put these refuges, and I'll be right back. Alright, I've decided how I'm going to work this out. I'm going to have a road come off of there, come back alongside the kennel here, and come along this way. Probably bring it back here. And then the refugee houses are going to be on that side of the road, and what I'm probably also going to do is have some lining like this, and then have a road going back here and have some on both sides of the road, and then continuing on down that way. And I'm only going to be doing 8 houses, so I'm thinking probably, let's see here, 3 here, 1 there, 1 in the corner, 1 behind it, And then the other 5 will be here. I'll do 1 back, 1 in the corner, and then 3 that way. So now all I have to do is lay out exactly where the houses are going to be, and probably clear out a little bit. I've leveled this off some, but I probably am going to still need to do a bunch more digging. And what is up with these lag spikes? There's another one. Am I... No, I'm only using about 40%. Weird. Anyway, I'm going to get to work on laying out the actual road and the houses, and then I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and I pretty much have the brunt of the neighborhood over here figured out. Like I said before, I'm having the road come back a little bit this way, and then it loops back. Well, I can demonstrate from out here instead, parkouring. Loops back and connects over there. That gives this elder's house a little bit of room to expand if I need to do so. But I've got 8 houses here, 3 there, and then 5, last 2 go down the hill like this. Ooh, it is getting dark. Let's go take care of that. The advantage to having all these houses everywhere is there's a bed everywhere. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing long run, close, is the road that I have splitting these houses up over, here it is going to continue in that direction and be an access point to stuff that way. And then this obviously just loops back and connects over to the... Hello? Hold on, I must take care of a guest. There we go. Any special loot from him? No, of course not. Alright, anyway, it loops back over that direction, and I'm possibly going to continue building the cheap houses in this area here, and then more than likely, if I'm going to be expanding any sort of elder houses or the higher end houses, they're going to be in this direction over that way. But now what I need to do is go ahead and finish these off. For the most part, I'm going to be doing just the regular oak material there, and then let's see here. Oh, there it is. So the corners around all of these great wood are going to be this, the poplar there, and then everything else is going to be the oak. And then, oh, I didn't grab stairs. The roof is going to be, for the most part, the oak steps, except on the corners, it's going to be the magic wood steps to give it the blue, so it goes with the rest of the community. But I need to apparently go get some stairs, and I also seem to be running low on regular oak planks, so I'm going to go get some more resources, finish these up, or if something else happens in the meantime, I will tell it then. But either way, I'll be right back. Okay, so the houses themselves are done. Now all I have to do is furnish them. I'm going to be probably just adding the table and frying pan to the kitchens. I'll be adding a bed and a chest. A chest isn't necessary, but figure might as well. Chest and a bed to each of the bedrooms, and then there is also a sort of entry room. I'll probably be adding a just a blue stairs as a sort of chair thing. Everything is lit by torches on the walls instead of tables as the floors, because I did want to go a little bit cheap, because after all these are just refuges. But I still wanted to make sure that they generally fit the motif of the uh, community. Now, the way I have them set up, like I was saying, the corners are all the uh, blue magic wood stairs, and then everything else is a slab for the rest of the roof. And that extends the life of the wood for using it, as well as it preventing the spawning of critters on the roof. So it serves a couple purposes. But now I'm going to go ahead and furnish these, and I also am going to need to make a bunch of doors. I just realized I need, let's see here, 2 more beds, and then everything, there's the sun, everything will be done for those houses, and then it's time to move on to another part of the challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and toss stuff inside, and I'll be right back. One more thing I totally forgot to mention. I If you can see it on the mini map up there, if not, I'll go ahead and do this. I tried to add a little variety to the shapes and sizes of the houses. I used 3 different templates and then rotated and configured the insides a little bit differently for all of them. And the reason I did that is I didn't want them all to be the same house over and over again. That would be a little dull, so I decided to give it a little variety, because, well, variety's the spice of life. But basically, I'm going to with any more refuges that I'm going to have to add in the future, I'm going to try to do some variants on the designs of the structures. Well, for the most part, any of the buildings. I sort of use the same template for all 3 of the elders' houses, but that's because I just wanted to get it done and didn't want to think about it too much. But I'm going to try to mix things up a bit. But anyway, I need to populate these houses, so I'll do that and be right back. So I'm putting the finishing touches on all the houses, on all the refugee houses now. And I wanted to mention something. One of you guys had brought up that it might be good for me to have a list of the steps of the challenge in like the description or something like that. And normally I would have to agree, except in this case there is just so extraordinarily much stuff to do that the description would be a mile long, and I don't want to fill up all the description with all the different things of the challenge. What I will continue to do is link to the challenge page, so you can see what the things are that I'm trying to do per stage. But a solution that I could provide for this is to include in the description the parts of the challenge that I completed in the episode. That could be something, but there again, without knowing what all the challenges are, it would be kind of confusing to know what I've done without knowing how much is left, and what all the things that need to be done. For instance, inside the refugee houses, without knowing what all those are uh, already, it's it it just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense for me to post all that information as part of the description. Uh, I could do maybe a Google Docs, uh, some sort of thing with that, but then again, it's just going to be a wall of text and maybe some check boxes to show which ones I've done. Uh, I don't know. Well, actually, come to think of it, that might not be a bad idea to do the Google Docs thing, because I could have a list going, like the all the stuff for each stage, and then the column that says which things I did could be divided into episodes, or the columns rather. That way you could see what episode I did what thing. That's an idea. I could toss that around. So I might consider that. But as far as having the whole gamut of everything included, it just doesn't seem to make sense just yet. Maybe when I get down to a lot fewer things left per stage, I might do that, or do the just what's left in the description. But at this point of the stage, it's just a mile long, and I don't want to have you guys wade through all that stuff. But speaking of things that I need to do for the challenge, I have to go see what I want to work on next, because I have now finished all of the refugee huts, and I need to work on something else. So I'm going to go figure out what it is, and I'll be right back. All right. I think I've come to a decision on how I'm going to deal with the list of things that are left to do for the stage. Uh, there's a lot to do per each item, but the items themselves are kind of minimal in quantity. So what I can do is list off the different things that I have left to do for this stage. At this point, there's two different main categories. There's the community stuff, and then there's what I call the green thumb stuff. For the community, I still need to build the Settlement Administrative Center, which is basically going to be the town hall. The Tribulation Tower, which those clay houses that are down by the lake are going to be turned into the Tribulation Tower. The Cafeteria slash diner, what I'm going to do is probably where I have the granary now is going to get turned into the diner. And then 2 to 4 additional community buildings. I'll have to figure out what in the future. Then there's also the Watchmen. That's technically fortifications, but for right now I'm lumping that into the community stuff. I need 2 to 3 of those. And then I need farms and farmhouses, ranches and ranch houses, and the Lumberjack Shacks for the different types of trees. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but there's a lot to do for each one of those things, and a lot of setting up and all that. So there's still plenty of work to be done, but that does make it seem like there's a lot less to do. And I'll go ahead and include that list in the description, so you can see what all I've got left. I may still do the Google Docs thing, not sure. Maybe by the time I move on to the stone stage, I can just start it off by having the Google Docs thing and then just continue from there. That seems like it might work. But as far as this episode is concerned, I'm going to have to go ahead and wrap things up because I am getting close to the 25-ish minute mark. So, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to leave a message in the comment section below. I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can, either in video or in the comments themselves. If you like this video and you like what I'm doing here, please feel free to give a like. I do appreciate that. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my future stuff comes out. But I need to work on some other stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night, and I will talk to you later.